Welcome into our coverage of Clemson here in Providence for the NCAA Men's Basketball Regional, which begins tomorrow. We're coming to you from the arena in downtown Providence. Earlier today, Clemson and McNeese State had their workouts. Right now, down below me on the court, University of Arkansas is going through its practice session. Every team gets about an hour on the court, mostly just to run around, throw the ball around, work on those free throws, work on that shooting, and just kind of limber up and get ready for the games coming up tomorrow. So Clemson and McNeese State went out earlier. The teams go out based on the order of the games tomorrow. So the two teams playing in game one, they got the first two practice sessions. Clemson, McNeese State playing in game two, they got the next two practice sessions. So the news here today is that Brad Brownell is going to get a new contract with Clemson. National reporters breaking that story. Pete Themmel, one of those on top of the story. He is here in Providence. And Brad Brownell acknowledged that he and athletics director Graham Neff have been talking for a little while, and they're very close on getting a deal done. But reportedly, it's going to be a 6-year extension for Brownell and, of course, an increase in pay. So details are still to come out, but Brad Brownell, who is 55, plans on being in Clemson for much longer, and for good reason. He feels like the program is in good shape. He feels like the facilities are constantly being upgraded, and he's got his team now going to the NCAA tournament in back-to-back seasons. So he kind of feels like they're on a roll with Clemson basketball. Interesting, Will Wade, the head coach at McNeese State, who is a Clemson grad, acknowledged that he has also talked to North Carolina State. That had been previously reported, but he acknowledged that today. A pretty good indication that he'll be headed to NC State. I mean, coaches don't acknowledge talking to a school where they're not going to get the job. And why wouldn't you hire Will Wade? NCAA violations aside, he's done a tremendous job everywhere he's been a head coach. Of course, he's a Clemson grad. He acknowledges his love for Clemson football in particular. Said again today that on Saturdays, they do not practice because he's watching Clemson football. But he may be playing Clemson on a regular basis if indeed he gets that job at NC State. As far as Clemson and McNeese State are concerned, the concerns each way from a Clemson standpoint, dealing with McNeese State, it's the pressure defense that McNeese State will throw at them. It's a variety of pressures that Will Wade will use, a lot of full court pressing. So ball handling will be crucial for Clemson tomorrow. How will they handle the basketball and keep the turnovers down, especially with one of their top guards, Dylan Hunter, out of action? And on the flip side, for McNeese State dealing with Clemson, Will Wade said the inside game of Clemson's a big concern. Their size, the physical way that they play, that's a major concern. And, of course, the Clemson guards, in particular, Chase Hunter, you got to keep him in check as best as possible as far as Will Wade is concerned. So that will do it for the report from here in Providence, as Clemson and McNeese State now just sort of relax and wait for their game tomorrow. That'll be the second game of the day here in Providence. And it's going to be a terrific day of basketball because you've got Arkansas with John Calipari. You've got St. John's, of course, is going to bring a huge, loud contingent in here as they support the Red Storm, as they're back as a nationally prominent team with Rick Pitino as the coach. You got Rick Pitino here, you got John Calipari here, and you've got Kansas here with their head coach, of course. And so you're talking about 3 Hall of Fame head coaches in the same regional here in Providence. We look forward to talking more about it tonight on Sports Talk at 6:05, and follow our coverage on our website, sportstalksc.com. See you tonight on Sports Talk.